Randy,
Teddy.
you missed the show, man.
I did. But I know I missed the show, and word on the street, Cindy rocked it and had
Yeah.
a great, she did great. That's what the media buzz is out there. But I spent a day with Leadership Winston, and actually that's going to be part of my story that we're going to share here in a few minutes. So Randy Wooden with Goodwill Industries, Northwest North Carolina, broadcasting today from, well, corporate, my little cubicle, my home away from home. I run our professional center. And so if you have thoughts of a job search now or in the future, you want to get your ducks in a row and get some help with that, our services are free. I'm happy to help. Just reach out to me through LinkedIn, find me, and hunt me down, and we're happy to try to help. So Teddy, who are you and what are you doing here in that? Is that a pink shirt you have on?
It is, man. Look, my pink shirt. Okay. Look, I got a pinkish cup, pinkish purple cup, I'm always styling, dude. You know that.
And the red glasses. So
yeah,
you're ready to go.
Hey, by the way, last week I was on the WFMY News 2. While you were out playing with Leadership Winston-Salem, I was being interviewed on the big screen, man. So,
you were.
It was fun. So, hey, for those who've never met me, I'm Teddy Burriss. I'm a LinkedIn strategist, trainer, and coach. I teach people how to use LinkedIn as a business tool. Love doing it. But Randy and I get together every Monday, and then we do it every Wednesday, and we do these shows that really to help people in career transition and in business and with lots of topics. So on Mondays today, we get together and Randy will tell a couple stories. I'll tell a story, and then we'll introduce you to our next guest, and then we'll close it with some tips. So you good with that, buddy?
I sure am. And my story, actually, Leadership Winston-Salem, we typically meet once a month for a full day and get exposed to various parts of our community that we may not otherwise have come to know about, to kind of get a behind the scenes look. And without going into a lot of detail about what we saw, what we did, I will say this: we were on a walk through parts of downtown Winston, more so on the west end, a very hilly area, if you're familiar with that little area. And I was talking to one of my colleagues as we were walking, and I said to him, I said, this is kind of cool. I can see the architecture on these buildings, some of these older homes. And I said, but when we drive, we don't see them. And he says, you're right. He says, we're always in a hurry to get where we're going. And I said, and if you're not in a hurry, the guy behind you is in a hurry and they're going to ride your bumper. And so you combine that with, I look outside and I see the leaves changing, the colors, the season changing. And so I guess my story is to, the old syrupy stop and smell the roses kind of thing, but really to take time to slow down a little bit, take a look around. I think we go through life in a whirlwind. We're always hustling to get to that next place, whatever that is.
Yeah. And
we don't take the time to appreciate what's in front of us. And so take that time. And especially, I think as I get older, and I can't speak for you because you're such a young man, but as I get older, I think I appreciate more than I did when I was much younger, because I know that time is limited.
Yeah.
And how many more falls, how many more spring times are we going to get to witness? So soak it all in, folks. Don't be in a hurry to get over with this into the next thing. Enjoy the season. The season.
I'm with you, buddy. I know that there's been a couple of occasions my wife and I, we travel from Winston to Raleigh often, back and forth, Winston to Raleigh to see family. And every now and then one of us go, oh my golly, where'd that building come from? And then the other one go, well, it's been there all along. So yeah, we don't really look around, and that's important to do. Good stuff. And
I don't know about you, Teddy, but in virtually every vehicle, I am the driver.
Yeah.
Because I'm either driving just myself, or if I have a person in the car with me, I'm doing the driving most all of the time. So I'm not really looking around. So what's your story? What you got?
Well, before I tell my story, Randy, there will be a day when the budget will allow us to have you get your own driver. But here's my story. when you're trying to help someone, be careful not to be too blunt. Now I did this. I did it last week, and I wish I hadn't have done it. And I knew immediately when I did it that I'd made a big mistake. Had this guy who was complaining that he couldn't make things happen. And I listened to his complaints. And in my mind, as a coach or trainer, I knew exactly what his problem was. I was clear as to what his problem was. And when he got done ranting and raving, I started ranting and raving back to him. I said, that's why it's not working for you. And I barked. And I said, I've got to be blunt here. And then I noticed him recoiling. And I knew that I was too blunt.
Wow.
And I tried to backpedal and I couldn't get out of it. And so think about it. You want to help people, but be careful not to be too blunt. Just because you think you know the answer, Teddy, doesn't mean you should try to jam it down his throat. That's my story.
Yeah. And I fight that too, Teddy, in my work, because I think I've seen and heard it all over the years.
Yeah.
And as soon as somebody gets a sentence or two or three into whatever their issue is, I've heard it before.
Yeah.
And I have to slow down,
mm-hmm.
just to my point about taking a walk and slowing down and taking a look around, because people need to be heard. They need to know that you've heard and that you understand them. Not that you have to be sympathetic, but I think empathy is a big thing to have. And that's something, again, that I think we acquire more of as we get older, hopefully. But yeah, I definitely can sense that same issue, and I deal with that as well. Hey, by the way, we're going to have a great guest, and this is a little bit different from the norm, I guess, as far as job hunting and such. But Cyrus Bush is going to join us, and I'm going to throw an acronym or a term at you here: EFT. Cyrus Bush is going to talk about EFT.
Oh, and EFT, that's electronic fund transfers.
Okay, well, that's one of the EFTs. This one is called emotional freedom techniques.
Okay.
Emotional freedom techniques. He'll also talk about tapping, TAPPI, and he doesn't mean the little pony keg that you keep down in the man cave, Teddy. He's not talking about that. Not that kind of tapping, but ways to become a positive performer. And it's not just during interviews, but also in how you engage with others at work and also in your personal life. And he's not an actor. This is not going to be an improv kind of a thing, but it's ways to help you focus and to put your best self forward, whether, again, interview at work, what have you. So Cyrus Bush joins us coming up on Wednesday, the 17th at 11:55. And I've got a tip for folks. And actually this happened several times here in the last couple of weeks. And that is this: deals with LinkedIn. And, Teddy, I'm preaching to the choir because you're the LinkedIn guru. And so, this as well. But LinkedIn, for the most part, really, when you look at your news feed, aside from the ads that you see,
mm-hmm.
the promoted pieces, LinkedIn looks at that from, okay, what are we going to put in Randy's news feed? And it's relationship based. People who are first level connections, people who I'm following, and those with whom I've engaged. So if I'm a first level, like I am with you, anything you do on LinkedIn shows up in my newsfeed, whether I want to see it or not, because they know that I engage with Teddy. But what if I want to engage with content that is topic based? Maybe I'm into supply chain or logistics or whatever. Well, that's where following hashtags and using hashtags can help identify subject matter that's relevant. You can also look to join groups. And so in this way, now you're able to engage with people who you may not know. They're not first level connections necessarily, but you share a mutual industry or a function or a certain passion, photography, for example. And so it's a great way to get to grow your network in a meaningful way. Aside from just, hey, I'm a friend of a friend, you can go for people who are certainly of value in terms of relationships because they play in the same sandbox. So that's my tip.
Yeah, I love it, man. We are often subjected to the news feed that we make happen with no purpose in mind. And when you have purpose in mind is to go in regards to who you follow, who you connect with, what groups you're in, what content you look for, what hashtag, then your news feed becomes richer. Because like it's got stuff in it that I want. How the heck did that happen? Good tip, buddy. Hey, Randy.
Yeah.
I know I told you what my tip was going to be for the day, but I just changed my mind. You know why I changed my mind? Because I can.
Can.
Yeah.
Good answer.
And I knew you would allow me to.
Yeah.
Here's my tip of the week. Don't burn any bridges ever. Ever. Look, this happens to people all the time. And you know, it doesn't happen to everybody. It happens all the time. You get fired. You know, and the guy says you're fired and you storm out the door and you use all kinds of, what is it called, Randy? 4-letter words. And, you know, I'll never talk to you ever again. I hate you and hate your company. That's called burning a bridge. I get it. You're mad. You're upset. You're disappointed, but don't burn that bridge because you never know how that bridge may become important to you later. You never know how that company may be able to benefit you later. You never know what's going to happen with that company and somebody else takes it over and you just burnt the bridge of that company. Never burn a bridge. It can really, not every bridge is going to be overly important to you as you move through life, but you never know which one of those bridges or which one of those connections can be important to you. I've been let go of 2 different companies. Both ties were mutually acknowledged that I was time for me to leave. One of them a little bit more difficult to leave than the other one. And I could have told that business owner a piece of my mind, but I didn't. And subsequent years, that company has not been relevant to me, but that business owner has become more relevant to me over the years. And if I would have burnt that bridge, then I could never have developed that relationship that is moving forward in different ways, positive ways. So just don't burn bridges. It's just not worth it. That's my tip for the day, Randy.
Hey, I actually had that happen. I worked in radio and decided to make a career change. They found out I was looking. This is back in Ohio, and they ultimately found my replacement before I could find another job. This was a long time ago. They fired me, and I filed for unemployment, and they fought it. They lost, but they said the least talented had to be let go, and that hurt me. That hurt my feelings because I had the highest ratings of anybody at the radio station. And it was purely because they brought in new management and wanted to clean house. And I was the last one they let go. So I felt like I had done as good a job as I could, but I didn't burn the bridge. And lo and behold, just real quick, what happened was after I was the most talented guy they still had there. And I was the one that did the fun commercials, the impersonations, the silliness, all of that kind of stuff. And so what happened ultimately, they said, hey, we need your talent. And so they brought me back on an hourly basis at a much higher hourly rate than I was earning as a full-time person. And I got to go in and play and have fun and be creative with the commercials. But it was because I didn't burn the bridge. And, you know, at the end of that, you say, am I adding any years to my life by going off the deep end with this thing and giving them a piece of my mind? Is it adding anything to my life to do that?
Yeah. It's usually not.
And so what's done is done. Pick up the ball and go home. But that was a case for me where I was able to parlay that into a nice little transitional money as I was going through the remainder of the job search. But yeah, good example, Teddy, because I think it's a lesson we all hopefully can learn before we have to go through it and screw up.
Yeah, good stuff.
Don't do it.
All right, buddy. Good conversations today. I don't know where you and I come up with these stories, man, but good stuff. So we'll see everybody at 11:55 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Wednesday when Cyrus Bush will be on here and we'll be talking about, the impact of positivity, and it'll be a lot of fun. So see you later, buddy.
All right. Have a good one.